Hey everybody, this is Strategywizard again, and today I'm going to be doing a review of Dixit, which is designed by Jean-Louis Roubira and Marie Cardouat or something. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing these, but it's published by Libellud, 3 to 6 players, ages 8 plus, 30 minutes playtime. That, depending on, that's actually 30 minutes. It's hard to really pinpoint the time on this one, but you'll see why later. But this is a game that it's so popular, and probably most people who are watching this have heard of it, own it already, played it, didn't like it, or something. But this is a game that is sold cajillions of copies, and I resisted getting it. I was just like, oh, it looks horrible. I just saw this cover, and don't get me wrong, I like the artwork, but it just didn't seem like anything that I was going to be interested in. But eventually, something made me buy it. I don't even remember what it was. Maybe I heard enough about it that I thought, you know what, let me go ahead and give it a shot. Since it's so popular, maybe it'll be worth it. Maybe I got it on sale, who knows. But I finally bit the bullet. Now, let's go ahead and go down to the table. I'm going to show you how to play this game, and then I will let you know what I think. Okay, so this, before I show the setup, I want to show this insert for the box of Dixit. Basically, it will come with enough cards to fill up one of these slots. There's 3 empty ones, which basically is enough to fit 3 expansions, which, as you can see, I've bought 3 expansions, and that fills up the base box. Just wanted to show that. Apart from that, you have this insert spot for your little character pawns, or rabbit-eeples, or rabbit-eeples, whatever you want to call them, carrot-eeples. Anyway, point is, you have these rabbits characters, you have a spot for that, and then you have little tokens here, which I'll show what that's for. But that's what comes in the box, apart from this, and with this nice insert that is prepared for expansions. And honestly, that's a good thing, because this game benefits a lot from expansions, so they were forward-thinking in that sense. Now, as far as the setup goes, you're going to have this board here, which has a point track. You'll have your character pawns in the start space. This kind of shows you how the points work, which I'll explain in a little bit. And then you have a spot for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If there's up to 6 players, then you would go this far. But in a 4-player game, you're only going to go to 4. Everyone's going to have their tokens in their color. And since there's 4 players, they only go up to token number 4. But there's 5 and 6 in the box if you need to go that high, if you have that many players. Everyone will also have a hand of 6 cards. So let's just say, let's just say red is going to go first. Red takes their cards, and everyone can look at their cards, but you can't show your cards to anyone. That would be very, very bad. You look at your cards and you say, all these interesting cards, very unique, interesting artwork, and you have to come up with a word, a phrase, a movie title, a song title. You could even sing lyrics or tell a little short story. You can say whatever you want about one of your cards. Now let's just look at these and see what we might say. That's pretty awesome. And you can say anything. You could just pick this card and say blue or nighttime. You can, anything you want. So, let's just try. Ooh. I think this time, let's just say I want to do this one, and I want to say, golly, that's a tough one. What I want to say is something on the lines of, let's just say counterintuitive, because it's counterintuitive that the wolf and Little Red Riding Hood would be sitting there eating out of the picnic basket together, seeming friendly. So that's counterintuitive. So I throw that card down. Now everyone else will now play a card from their hand. They'll look at their cards and they'll go, counterintuitive. That's a little counterintuitive. Why would there be eyes on a vase? But that could be just artwork, so maybe it's not. Counterintuitive. Why that could be. Counterintuitive that the flower itself is plucking its petals instead of a human plucking the petals, saying, I love you, she loves me not. She loves me, she loves me not. Maybe not that one. And it's a little counterintuitive that a manticore would be guarding gold when normally it's a dragon. So you could use that card, maybe, and maybe other people have other ideas, or you might pick this one. I would pick this one personally. So let's just say that the second player picks that card. Then the next player will go. They'll look at their cards. What do they have? Counterintuitive. Interesting. 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 Definitely counterintuitive for a building to be on the back of an elephant. totally counterintuitive there. You might also say it's counterintuitive for a character in a story to be riding on the book, or a puppet to be in the throne. Or maybe some people would say that that's actually very expected, that most government authorities are puppets. It just depends on how you look at it. But let's just say they'll play this one. That's counterintuitive. Doesn't make really any sense. Let's do that one. So this person plays this card. Okay, the next person looks at their hand of cards. Counterintuitive. Not necessarily. That's weird. Okay, counterintuitive for flowers to be in a bird cage. Okay, it's definitely counterintuitive in a lot of ways. Counterintuitive for a person's face to be in a it looks like it's inside of a psychic's little orb, but maybe not. That's definitely counterintuitive to be able to see in the bottom of a well all the way through to the sky on the other side. So I would pick one of the two. Either this is counterintuitive or the well. Which one should I pick? Personally, and leave in the comments which one you think I should pick in any of these. I think that'd be kind of cool. I think I'd pick this one. This one just screams counterintuitive to me. So what will happen is, now all these cards will have been played face down. The person who started, the red player, will take these and shuffle them up, randomly turn them up in spots 1, 2, 3, and 4. So only the red player knows which one was his card, and that's what everyone else is trying to figure out. So what's going to happen, the red player does not get to vote this turn since they were the ones who initiated it. So let's say the blue player played, oh gosh, I can't remember who played what now. I think the blue player played this one. I think it was. So the blue player knows that they played this one, so this couldn't be the card that red played. So they would have to pick either 1, 2, or 3. So they'll look at their little tokens, and they will secretly choose the one that they think is the card that red played. To do that, you're trying to think about that person. How well do you know them? What would they think is counterintuitive? But also, the rules are, to get the most points, the person who chooses the card originally, they only want one or some of the players to guess their card. They don't want everyone to guess their card, which means they don't want to be too obvious. So a lot of the time you're trying to think, which one of these cards isn't just on the nose completely? But a lot of these work really well. None of them are just so on the nose, and they're all counterintuitive. So let's just say that the blue player goes, I think it's number 1. So they'll secretly choose their 1, place it face down, and they won't let anyone see any of their little tokens because they don't want them to know. Let's just say pink over here goes, oh yeah, it's got to be 3. So they actually choose 3. And then let's say yellow thinks, what about, of course I can't remember who played what now, but let's just say that yellow plays, I think they played that one. Let's say that they say 4. Then everyone is going to reveal what they played and put it next to the whichever one, like so. And then you find out how the points go. Now here's the way it works. In this case, only pink got the right answer. That means, well, I'll go through the scoring here. If all players find the active player's card, then the active player gets 0 points. But the other players get 2 points. Every player gets 2 points. So the idea there is, if the active player, if their clue, if it was too obvious, it made it too easy, this person gets punished because it was too easy, and you're not supposed to make it so obvious, because it's easy to make an obvious one. You could just say this and say wolf and then play that, and most people will not have something with a wolf. But so that's how that works. The second one is that if no one finds it, then the active player still gets 0 points, again being, like I said originally, being punished for the fact that they didn't give a good enough clue at all for anyone to figure it out. But then the other players also get 2 points, just like in the original, but you get 1 bonus point per vote for his or her card. So if let's say this person voted this way, so no one figured this out, the person who played the bird cages and the person who played the flower, this person would get 1 point and this person would get 2 points. So for each vote you get plus 1 point in that circumstance. But then, in this particular case, if at least one but not all players have found the active player's card, the active player gets 3 points. So that's a lot. This is what the active player really wants. They'll move up 3, and then the player who found the right card, or the players, would get 3 points also. So this is what's best for everyone. If you want to move up a lot, you want to be in this where some but not all figure out the right answer. And then you get plus 1 bonus point for anyone who voted for your card. So again, in this case, yellow is going to get 3 points. Bam! And I believe yellow played the bird cage, so they'll get another point for that. So they'll move up 4 points. And red will move up 3 because someone found their card, but not everybody. And then this person, pink, would get 1 point. I'm sorry, pink, not pink, but the person who played this, which I think was blue, blue will get 1 point because pink guessed their card. So blue would move up 1. Pink will move up none, I believe is what I said. Red would move up 3. And yellow, who got it right, and someone voted for their card, will move up 4 points. And then you'll just shuffle these cards back up. Not shuffle them, but you'll discard them. You'll take them, you'll discard them. Everyone will draw 1 more card, and then it'll pass to the next person. So it'll be blue's turn to pick a card. And you'll just keep going around doing this until someone gets to 30 points. So it's really pretty simple. And the main point of the game, is, like I said before, is and of course you'll take your tokens back. The main point of the game is you're trying to, whenever you give a clue, you're trying to make it to where it really does fit with your card, but it's not too obvious, and it's not too obscure. You're trying to get right in that middle ground, which gives everyone a chance to have a card that will work. And these cards, they're so creative and imaginative that it's amazing how often you can come up with a clue, and you might think, boy, that may be too on the nose, and you'll find that all the cards that come out there are amazing for your clue. So that's how it works. You go around getting points, and then someone wins. Let's go ahead and go up top, and I'll tell you what I think. Okay, so component quality. What do we think? The little wooden rabbit people, pawns, meeples, they're nice. I like the way they look, but I do find that whenever you're trying to move them along this little point track, it's a little inconvenient because they're a little not perfectly balanced, easy to knock them over and stuff like that. But as far as just the fact that they're wooden and painted, I like that. So it's just moving them along sometimes can be a tiny bit annoying because they're not as stable as a regular meeple, I guess, or pawn. But the board is nice, it's small, functional, and I like the fact that it shows how the points work because at first it's not totally intuitive. Once you've played it a few times, it becomes obvious, but whenever you're first playing, you're like, now how do I know how many points I got? And you can reference this quickly and go, oh yeah, that answers all of our questions. As far as the card quality, they're oversized cards. The artwork is just amazing, as you saw, or maybe you don't like it, but in my opinion, it's really awesome. Partly just because I just like the creative imagination that went into it. Tokens are great, the insert's great. Overall, I really like the components. As far as the replayability, I would say out of the box, it's not that replayable if you play with the same group over and over again because you'll quickly go through all the cards that are there, and you depending on the people, it depends on how good of an imagination you have. You could get stuck in a rut of wanting to use the same clues for certain things, and maybe you're struggling to come up with different ones. Depending on how creative you are. If you're really creative, you can get tons of replayability out of the base box with just those cards. But that's something that you kind of have to know about yourself to know how replayable this is for you. And for me, after I played it a few times and I saw that the people I was playing with, in particular my parents, we got through it, and my mom always had a pretty tough time coming up with clues for the cards. I came to the conclusion it would probably be a good idea to get expansions, which is why I have 3 now, because it helps to have that rotation. That way, by the time you get back to those cards, the same ones you've already done, you're maybe more fresh and you're ready to come up with something new. So, in my opinion, decent replayability out of the base box, and depending on yourself, could be more or less than that. But expansions recommended, in my opinion. So, take that for what you will. As far as the strategy in this game, well, you know, you might say there's really no strategy in a sense. You're just picking a card, saying something, a word, phrase, whatever, and slapping it down, and everyone else plays cards that are similar. But there is some strategy, and it's surprising, actually, because, you know, it's the fact that you're trying to play cards that theoretically your goal is to play cards that are not on the nose, but not too obscure. However, I've seen cards get played. My wife played a card one time. I think her word was expectancy. And the cards, I can't remember what all was down there, but one of them was a pregnant woman. And it was like, that's too obvious. That must have been someone else's. Well, no, it was hers. And my mom picked it because I guess she read my wife well enough to where she could figure out, okay, that's got to be the one she played. No one else got it because everyone else was like, oh, there's no way that she would have played something that on the nose. Well, it worked out for her because one person got it and the rest didn't. Now, there is one thing that could happen with that is strategy, in my opinion. Trying to manipulate your choice of how specific you are based on how you think you will benefit. You might still say that's still luck in a sense, and it depends on what other people have in their hands. So let me just say, to me, there is some strategy. It's just not a lot. It's more psychological what's going on in this game, and social, and what you know about other people. And that gets to another point, which is it's possible to purposely say something in this game that only certain people will know what you mean. You could do a movie reference whenever you know only these two people know about this movie, these other people don't, which means that if I say this, they won't even know what to play, and these other people will know very specific. So the chances of me getting some but not all to guess my card is high. You could do that, and in my opinion, it should pretty much be an unsaid rule that you don't do that. I mean, who knows? Maybe in this, the instructions are like this big. This is just a double-sided page. I don't think it said anything about that in these instructions from what I remember. But that's something that I think you should do. You should just make a rule. If you don't make you can't use anything that other people at the table don't know. If you don't know that they know, don't use it as a clue. That solves that problem. But I've heard it mentioned before that can be an issue. So just throwing that out there. But that being said, this game, for me, wow, it's an easy 9. And the reason why, it blows my mind every time I play this game, whenever I choose a card, and I might think, this is maybe too obvious, but I couldn't think of anything else to say. And the other cards that turn up, it amazes me how well they fit what it was that I said. And I see the deliberation, everyone going, oh man, which one would it be? And they're trying to figure it out. And of course, you can't say which one you played because that would kind of ruin it. So everyone's, didn't want to say anything too much, but they're struggling to figure out, which one could it be? They're all, and I just find that dynamic fascinating. I mean, I can't even hardly describe how interesting it is. You almost have to play the game to really get it. I mean, whenever I first read the instructions, I didn't realize how amazing. I even thought at the time, I'm pretty sure it's been a while, but it seems like whenever I first read it, I was thinking, boy, it seems like it's going to be hard to do that. It works so well because the cards are so varied and have a lot of the time they have so much going on the cards that there's so many connections you can make, and you'll be amazed. You'll have a card that you'll go, I don't even know what to say about this, but someone else will come around and they'll say a word on their turn or a phrase or whatever, and you'll look at your card and go, oh, that's perfect for this, and you'll play it and get points. And it's so amazing just seeing the creativity and the imagination of the other players working together, trying to come up with those words, those phrases, and seeing the result on the table and people trying to figure out what was the original card. I just find that to be fascinating. Every time I've played it, I've had a blast, and I will continue to have a blast playing this game. I mean, I just got the 10th anniversary expansion, and more great artwork. I just like the cards. I just like everything about it. So 9 out of 10 for me. Easy, easy, easy. Like it a lot. So that's my recommendation. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. If you want to see more, get subscribed so you can see get to all my other videos that I continue to put out. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I'll get back with them as soon as I can. And in the meantime, I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care, everybody.